There are many paths to becoming a millionaire. Some people invest in stocks, others start a tech company, most of them fail. Why? They rely on luck and emotion. In this series, we'll explore different approaches to building wealth. Today's method is fine art. The idea is simple. Anyone can get rich if they follow a system. Today, our system is to create and sell a masterpiece. My name is Alexander, and this is the first attempt. Every venture requires seed capital. For this attempt, our total investment was 212,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about $13 US. And let's analyze the assets we require for this investment. First, the paints, the standard set, good enough for our first test. Next, the tools, a set of brushes, a palette knife. This will allow us to apply the paint to the canvas. And finally, the canvas is our main asset, the foundation of the entire project. To succeed, a product needs customers. My research shows that online people have a strong positive reaction to cats. So to maximize market appeal, our subject will be a jungle cat. For the design, I used AI. I gave it simple instruction, analyze the most famous masterpieces in history, and generate an image with the best qualities of all of them. This is the result. This is our template. This approach ensures we are building our masterpiece on a foundation of data. So, the $13 investment is made, the plan is ready, and the final step is execution. Finish the masterpiece. Will this approach to art lead to significant financial returns? You'll find out. This is one of the possible ways to become a millionaire. Subscribe to see if this one pays off. Today we begin with the practical work. We are going to take this blank canvas and lay the complete foundation for our painting. Let's get started. The first step is to get the canvas on the easel. I prefer to work with it upright like this, as it gives a much better perspective on the Alright, first start. The next phase is the initial sketch. The purpose here isn't to add details, just to map out the composition of the painting. I'm using a simple pencil to establish the placement of the main subject, a cat, and to block in the key background elements. This gives us a clear and accurate guide for the first layers of paint. With the sketch complete, we can begin the painting. This is a standard painting technique where we apply a thin foundational layer of color to each part of the canvas. The goal is to cover the white and establish the basic tones and light values of the painting. With the sketch complete, we begin the painting. The goal here is efficiency. We are simply covering the canvas with the main foundational colors. This creates a base layer and establishes the basic tone values for the entire piece. Next, we build the environment. I'm adding the main structural elements like the tree trunks and establishing the texture of the ground. The background is kept loose and suggestive to ensure the main subject remains the focal point. Now it's time to build the environment. I'm adding depths of different greens and other colors to form the background. The goal here isn't to paint perfect individual leaves. I'm using the main idea of impressionism, creating the feeling of natural light-filled space with many strokes of varied color. This way we build texture and atmosphere, one depth at a time. Now we introduce the most critical element, light, using a technique called broken color. I'm applying small depths of lighter varied colors. The objective is not to blend, but to place these colors side by side to create a vibrant, shimmering effect. With the environment established, all focus now shifts to the cat. The same broken color technique is applied to the fur to create texture and form. The goal is to make the subject feel integrated in the scene's lighting. And here is the final result. We have moved from a blank canvas to a finished picture. The production phase is complete. Every step was a methodical part of the process, from the initial sketch to the final dab of paint. Now, after you finish the painting, the time for the final and most important step in the production process, the signature. This is not just a name. It's the seal of approval. It's the final step in preparing the picture for the open market. It confirms for any future investor that this is, in fact, an authentic jungle cat by me. So the painting is finished. The final step in any project is the sale. My first plan was to list it for $1 million to test the market, but I ran into a small problem. The website eBay has a rule for new sellers. There is a maximum price for high value items. It's a safety rule they have. So to follow their rules, I have listed the painting at the highest price I'm allowed, which is $500. We started this project with an investment of $13. If it sells for $500, there's still a very good profit. The link to the listing is in the description below. And this is the end of our first attempt. The main lesson is that even with some limits, a clear plan can still create a lot of value.